Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. So today's reading is going to be a little bit of an update reading along with a tarot rewind. And it's going to be specific to this little short that could, oh my goodness, I have a short that has just taken off. I mean, I'm sitting here, I've got the analytics pulled up and it's 29.8 thousand views. And so for a little channel that's trying to grow, you know, that's a lot. And I noticed, and this was a short from a reading that I posted 2 months ago. It was July 18th. And the name of that reading, it was whenever, you know, Kank's there first, you know, started showing off his cankles. And it was like July 18th is when it posted. I'm looking here, and it was a reading about what is going to take Trump out first. Is it going to be the Epstein files? Is it going to be his health? Or is it going to be election fraud? And so if you're one of those people who saw that video and made the jump over to like and subscribe, thank you. I really appreciate it. The other reason I wanted to do kind of an update to that reading is it took me a while to figure out, like, why are people commenting on, like, it took me a while to figure everything out, that this clip was from 2 months ago. Because if you've been here for a while, you know I do the reading and I don't remember them. It's like information in, information out. And the comments I was getting, and if you made one of these comments, it is really good. It is really okay. It was kind of like, well, isn't this what's happening now? Isn't this what, like, the comments were weird for the time frame. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then I went back and looked. I was like, oh, that clip was from like 2 months ago. And yes, absolutely, we are totally seeing all of that now. So I've gently been reminding people in the comments that clip was from 2 months ago. And that's one reason I wanted to do this tarot rewind was, you know, one, thank you for commenting to remind me that I even did that reading. And two, that it's time for an update. And three, this is like the perfect tarot rewind because it shows what I got 2 months ago, and now here we are, and right in the throes of all of it. So, yeah, I thought that was just really interesting how that just kind of it's taken off. And so I want everyone to be able to kind of do that tarot rewind and see the original, like, full reading. And I want to do the update now. I'm going to jump into that. The update that I want to do is, apparently we have a new plot twist in this Epstein, you know, files saga. The Democrats and the survivors are working with the Epstein estate to be able to get evidence and files to release. So, and right now I'm going to use that blanket term files. I understand, like, that birthday book is in there, maybe pictures. So when I say files, I just mean that whole, like, whatever that is that the estate appears to be wanting to turn over. Like, they're in talks, and everything I've read, it seems like, yeah, that's going really well. Now, I have always said that Trump is going to be confirmed in an undeniable way in those files, and it's not going to come from the DOJ. Okay, so that this is an interesting turn of events. In that original reading, it was looking like maybe Elon Musk, and I mean, he's still a possibility of doing that. So, but right now, I want to look into the possibility and what is that probability of the Democrats and the survivors getting this from the Epstein estate. Okay. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. I want to look into what is it looking like with the Democrats and the survivors of this child sex trafficking abuse. What's that looking like with them working with the Epstein estate to release these files? Okay, so Okay, as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. The Magician. And the Magician is the first card. There's the full card, which actually is the first card, but it's that number is 0. So this has the numerology of 1. It is the first card in this journey. Like, you got the Fool of starting the journey. This is a card of having everything you need to manifest what it is that you want. In the lower energy, this is a card of illusions. Okay, so what I like to do, especially if this is one of your first readings with me, I like to kind of put out first several cards before I kind of get the feel of, where this reading is going. So the heart and center is the Magician. What's crossing it is the Devil. And also, if you're new, we always laugh when we see the Devil card because we think of, and I quote, Trump is fucking Satan from South Park. So, so the challenge to this is the Devil. This is going to be toxicity. In this deck, and I'm using my Robin Wood deck, just Robin Wood is who I'm using today. This is someone who's chained to greed. I mean, just think of the 7 deadly sins, They're chained to this, but if you look, they're reaching for the open window, but they can't get there. And so this is like those deals made with the devil is how I read it in this deck, especially because it's like you got everything you want, but you don't have freedom. Okay. The energy coming in, somebody who's not happy with what's being offered. As I'm looking at this, I'm kind of wondering if this isn't like the negotiations going on with the Epstein estate with the survivors. Okay. The Foundation is the message card. This can also be the child card. It is also, in the past, I've also seen this as whistleblowers. Okay, so this very much could be the survivors is the foundation of this. Because this is going to be, the pages are younger people very much can embody that of children and the children's message of the abuse that, the survivors' message of the abuse that they were subject to by the hands of Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's looking like, Donald Trump. Recent events. This is I've been reading this as the childhood that was stolen from them. The Ten of Cups in its higher energy is actually a very happy card. It's, the family, the happy couple with the kids. They've achieved, like everything they've wanted. In the lower energy, this is going to be about lies. The lies that have been told about what happened to them as children, and now these survivors are wanting to set that record straight. Okay, and the outcome, the potential here, the 8 of Swords. I'm going to do more cards on this just to see kind of where this is going, because right now, if I were to say, are they going to get the files released from the Epstein estate, this is leading me to believe no, but let me put out some more cards on this. This is a card of restriction. So, on part of this is they want their truth told. They want their stories to be told. They want the evidence to back those stories, but something is preventing them from achieving that and not being happy with what's being told and then the further restrictions. So I want to do some clarifying on these cards right here. I'm going to leave these over here. Make sure you guys don't have too much of a glare. Here, let me. Okay, so I want clarification on these 3 cards. What is the holdup with the estate as it relates to getting these files released? What is the holdup with the estate? And the holdup with the estate, this is, Swords is going to be anything legal. It's also anything medical. It's making decisions. Making decisions, having to overcome, and what they're working on. I'm wondering if they're not working on some kind of protections for the survivors with this. But there's things that are needing to be ironed out, legal issues that they're trying to overcome, and that they are working on it. So with this card, this gives me hope, because the Eight of Pentacles is telling me they're working on it. Not all is lost. So will they release this to the survivors, or just release it? Yeah. Is it going to be released to the public in some form, in some way? Like, not turning it over to the government, but rather turning it over to the Democrats and the survivors, like that avenue, so it can be released to the public. As far as that, messaging about the Epstein files and the betrayal, I think that, yes, I think that we will. Let me see if I can get... Those of you that know, timing in tarot is very difficult. So I've been asking, like, what can we look for? What can we expect when when is this announcement? When are we... Yeah, I'm trying to figure out different ways to ask when. So what can we expect for these, leading up to these files being released? What can we expect leading up to the files being released? This, I really like this card in this deck, is the Book of Knowledge. The truth is there, but it's hidden. You have to seek the answers to find the truth. Okay, so seek, and that's what they're doing. The Democrats and the survivors are definitely doing that. They're wanting that truth to come out, and the truth is going to come out. But right now, it's blocked. Okay, so why is it blocked? Just why? Why is this blocked at this moment? Why is it blocked? The Tower card, and this is my shit hitting the fan card, racing ahead, charging forward, like not really thinking through the consequences, and the Moon card, wanting to keep things hidden. Okay, and real quick, I'm going to, okay, yes, the truth is going to come out. Okay, that is I want to say that's an absolute, that's as absolute as I can be when doing tarot, is that yes, those files are going to be released. However, let's come back to all of this. What I'm really noticing here is all of this dark gray. If you look, the color scheme here is so similar in all of these cards. Okay, let me kind of rearrange these just a little bit. Rearranging these so that the color scheme can, so you guys can kind of see these colors here a little bit better. Okay, so these cards here, if you look at this is like the message of the truth coming out, and the kind of, the Magician. Everything is out on the table, okay? The truth is out, it's all out there, and now we can move forward with the truth. That's what I'm feeling. Beginning this journey of where we're going next with the truth, okay? That's all these cards here. So this is what's going to happen. Now, in the meantime, here you start getting this crossover card of here's some of those yellows, but not being happy with what's being offered. And then things are just out of reach, being chained to, the 7 deadly sins, the toxicity, restrictions. Both of these are going to be very similar. The Tower card, this is the shit hitting for the fan. When this stuff comes out, this is going to be very explosive. This card is the Pluto rules this card, and Pluto was the planet that was discovered during the atomic energy time, during the atomic bomb being built, Manhattan Project. So think about just how explosive, the nuclear atomic bomb is. That's what this card is. Okay. Now, coming down here, you've got these cards, and I usually read, these cards are very similar, even in this color scheme here. The truth is there, but you have to seek the answers, and you're going to have to really seek, because you have, it's being hidden. It's purposely being hidden and kept secret. recently for the Epstein files, I've been reading this as the Democrats and the Republicans both coming together to try to get these released. And then the betrayal. I'm wondering what the betrayal is. I'm going to do some more cards on this because the betrayal could either be the Epstein estate doesn't release it, or, there's those, looking at those 11 Republicans who signed on to the legislation but won't sign on to the discharge petition. Okay. And yes, one of my representatives is one of those that won't sign the original legislation, but won't sign onto the discharge petition. So last I knew they needed 2 more signatures. So I'm going to look into that real quick. And then you've got things, still being blocked, but then charging forward. And that was kind of in conjunction with this card. So it's almost like I get this feeling like it's almost this feeling of no, 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 no. And then all of a sudden just yes. That's the feeling I'm getting from it, because it's like it literally, these cards, the way they came up, it was no, then yes. And I'm like, okay. And like, how does that occur? So let me do some more cards on this one right here. That 3, kind of the betrayal. What is this betrayal? Is this going to be, is it not needed because they do get that those two signatures? That could be it. Let me see. What is this betrayal here? And the betrayal, be patient. Okay. We do not want to be patient. That is not the kind of news we want. But things are in this card, the angel is juggling things. So there's 3 things up in the air. And this could come by way of, the Epstein estate, the Congress, with that discharge petition, and then, some other way. When this all first started, Elon was out there kind of posturing like he might release them. So this could be, just be patient. There's things are up in the air. It is going to be by divine, divine intervention that absolutely these files will be released. Looking out into the future, I wonder if this isn't coming, and there's that 3 again. If it's not coming from overseas, Putin could be, which, Elon Musk and Putin, that's kind of in that same little, corner there of possibilities, news coming in from overseas, and all of the wealthy men and women that are going to be, I was going to say going to be hurt by this, and that's not the right word. Is exposed. That's the word. Exposed by this. That's the word I need. Exposed. And, you got the old dude there with the child, and, you've got the couple here in the background not paying attention. I mean, ew. Ew. I probably will never look at that card the same again. Okay. So, any final messages? Let me pick these up and just do any final messages on the Epstein files. Being released. Oh, I know. Let me ask real quick. Are they going to get those other 2 signatures? Are they going to get the 2 additional signatures? Wow, the Tower card. I think that something happens before that but something is going to happen before they get those 2 signatures. And it's almost like they do the 2 signatures just to fully release like what the government has. It's almost like to compare things is kind of what I'm feeling. And there's that Devil card again. Yeah, these are not, and then the children, the survivors, and what they have to say. Or, whenever I say the children, I'm well aware that they're all adults now, but that the survivors are going to be, they're not letting this go. And so that's those signatures. I'm wondering if with this card, if there isn't somebody who's a survivor who doesn't have, like somebody who has additional information, like they have evidence, they have the receipts. It's like something like that, that they just release it. I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting from this, is just like this explosive, something that was out of reach is now, that explosive energy, and then it was right on, and with this on top. So I don't like leaving it just kind of like, but when I get the Moon card, the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, the Eight of Swords, like that, those are all like hidden restriction type. It's this like, you're not supposed to know yet. Okay, so the best that I can say with this last round of cards is I wouldn't be surprised if it's not going to be a one of the survivors who comes forth with whatever receipts. I mean, that's the feeling I get. Like, that's the piece that's going to like set this whole thing off. That's kind of what I'm feeling with this, that I don't know that it's coming from the estate. It's definitely not coming from the DOJ. But whenever, and that's that start of he's being confirmed in an undeniable way. So, and I know that the survivors have said there's so many more. I mean, there's like hundreds of women who were part of this, and they were asking for all of them to come forward, and I get it. I mean, I couldn't even imagine, if you were one of those women who had evidence, undeniable evidence that the President of the United States participated in whatever form, fashion he did, that's got to be really scary. So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this, is that, like, that the idea of protections in place, but when that first piece comes out, it just like wildfire explodes. Okay. So that's what I'm getting today as far as the reading that you're getting ready to see. I think I'm going to go ahead and stitch that together. So it's going to look like it's a really long reading, but yeah, that'll be there for you guys to watch. And what I got was what was going to take him out first: his health, the Epstein files, or election fraud. The election interference and fraud, that case is moving forward, very slowly, but that's not until November. And in the reading you're getting ready to see that I did the Tarot rewind on here, I was saying it looks like the stress from the Epstein files is not helping his health, and that's what's kind of pushing him along that path out. So yeah, and I've still got that. I still think that that's what's going on, and we're seeing that more and more. Okay, so that's what I get today. Thank you very much for joining me, especially all the new viewers. I really appreciate it. I love that the little clip that is just dry. It has a life of its own at this point, and that it shows just that what we get in Tarot, and then now we've lived those 2 months, and what we're seeing now with that. It's really nice to compare and contrast. What the reading said versus real life. So that reading is coming up next. I really appreciate you being here, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day. But stay tuned, because you got that other reading that's coming up. See you later. Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm a blue dot in a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here, and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be what removes Trump from the presidency first. Okay, is it going to be his health? Is it going to be the Epstein files? Is it going to be election fraud? Or is it going to be something else? Okay, because wow, it's been kind of a wild weekend. If you saw the pictures from the FIFA, is it FIFA or FIFA, whatever it is, that his ankles, I mean, that's serious. Like, that's serious health issues. Okay, that is like retaining water, and it shows that your kidneys aren't working. I mean, that can be it's a sign of congestive heart failure. It can also be there's certain medications that can cause that. We know he has a shit diet. All he drinks is Diet Coke. Like, drink some water, dude. Eat a salad or drink some water. So anyway, so there's that. And then, yeah, those Epstein files are not going anywhere. And I mean, do any of us really believe that, oh, the Epstein files, it was all fake, it was all a hoax? Nobody believes that. And then, or at least, I don't know, some of MAGA may believe that. And then there is the election fraud and interference, which that has had a little bit of movement in that. Not a whole lot, but discovery is going forward. I will say that. Discovery is going forward. And the judge did make it very clear that discovery would be going forward in that case in Rockland. So, yeah, I just kind of want to know what's going to take Trump out first. Entertainment purposes only. And as I said, I really don't like doing the health readings just because we see it. And I have said, you know, the Trump you see today is the best Trump you're going to see. He's only going to get worse from here. And that's been true. I mean, you know, now he's got swollen ankles. He's got those puffy hands. Everything. It's just... ugh. And apparently, you know, the stench on him, the literal stench of Trump is... it is just becoming overwhelming, pungent. So, look at that. That card just flipped. These cards just flipped out. It's like, is the Tower card in there? Would I be surprised? No, there's one hiding in there. No. Okay, so Trump, just the disappointment. Him trying to be the picture of health while trying to hold on to what he has. Okay, so that's how I would read those. But I'm going to keep shuffling. I want to know what is going to take Trump out of the presidency. What is going to finally be that thing that removes him? Okay. As always, entertainment purposes only. What takes Trump out first? You got 3 things. So the challenge is 2 of them actually are viable. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to keep going. Battle weary. This would indicate more of a health to me just because the wands, ideas, thoughts, ideas, and battle weary. So being tired, that tells me that that's going to be more health related. So the past experiences, you know, messaging, messaging, and then about his health, all those stupid letters. He's the healthiest person that's ever been president, ever in the history of presidents. You know, he's just the epitome of health. No, not, so we have all those stupid letters and, from the past where they just lied. So this is all, this is about health. So what's going to take him out? Health. And this 2 is telling me, because there's 3 things, but there was actually 2 things that are kind of more prominent, the 2 challenges. Health is absolutely one of them. What is going to be his other issue here? Just so to read this, battle weary, and I have often, when this comes up with Trump's health, I feel like it's like he becomes a shell of himself. That's the feeling I'm getting with this, is just a shell. And I've gotten that from him before. So what is the second thing? If we're looking at 2 things and one is health, what is the second thing? Okay, and the second thing, putting everything out there, messages, I wonder if this isn't the Epstein files kind of pushing that health, over the edge, wanting to keep things kind of hidden, legal issues. Okay. Right now, I'm just going to come back here to the center here. 3 things. You've got 3 things that are going to be pushing him out of the White House. I think the challenge right now, or the 2 things that he's got going on right now, and that is his health and these Epstein files. So the Epstein files are causing like additional stress on him. That's what I'm feeling. It's like they're not helping. Okay. And then that 3rd thing, that election interference in September, is that going to be that final, reaping what you sow. What did he do, for his future? The false friend, the good news that comes out for the rest of us, if that is proven, and just his involvement in it. So yeah, I think that, is he going to, I got more questions. I'm going to put up. Okay, so with that 2 and 3 there in the center, that 3 of Three of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles, what I'm feeling is that there's 3 things, at least 3 things, and that all of the stuff that's happening is not helping his health. I mean, like, they literally, Project 2025, and I've said this, they've given him the reality show TV portion of this presidency. Okay, that's your lane, stay in that lane. Anything outside of that is too stressful for him. It's not good for his health. And so, and that's why I say, if they want him out and they're pushing this, this Jeffrey Epstein thing to get him pushed out, and if they don't want election interference, like being found out, they may, they're wanting him out. Okay. That's the main thing that I'm feeling, is they're wanting him out, and they're going to be, they are manipulating events to the detriment of his health. That's what I'm feeling. So anything that comes out, it's almost like, watch, is Musk out there, pushing those buttons, to get him riled up. It's like causing more stress, that kind of thing is kind of what I'm seeing. So how will he finally leave office? Okay. Is because, we have 3 options. We have, he dies. We have, he gets removed by the 25th Amendment or Congress. Okay. So how is it that he is exiting the White House? How is it that he is exiting that role? Because, at this point, I sort of care, but I sort of don't care. So how is he going to finally be, exiting and leaving? Okay, and with that, emotions, okay? Mad King Dawn, the emotions pages. This is going to be his mental health, I think, goes. The challenge of his mental health. Shining a light into the darkness. He's trying to hold on. It's becoming a burden. Holding on is becoming a burden. And needing to go, they need to send him to he's gone to a better place. Okay. There's nothing here. Let me just ask, yes, no. Is it Congress that finally removes him? They're talking about it, but I don't think they do it. The 4 of Swords comes up. Is the 25th Amendment going to be used? I think this is coming up. Whenever I ask the 25th Amendment, I think he may, it's like, that's him, trying to hold on. But then you've got, and I always get this as my Pam Bondi card, but I don't think this is going to be Pam Bondi. It could be somebody close to him telling him that it's done, it's over. Like someone who tells him the truth and, sheds light, tells them the truth that it's over. So I think that this might be, and also if I'm seeing this kind of as the Pam Bondi card, like the legal reasons as to why they're going to remove him. And it's because his health is failing to the point where they can't, it's obvious. But Congress doing their job? Nah, that's not going to happen. And the reason I say that is, let me come back here. There's talk about it, but then the inaction, for our country, they're not going to do it. But there's definitely talk at the cabinet level. Will we just get the results of the election fraud first? Before any of this. Government, the difficulties having to overcome, what he had to do to overcome to come, and the agreements that he had to make. Yeah, I think that the Epstein files and soon-to-be election interference stuff, as that comes closer, there's stuff that's happening on that at the end of August. So I think that as he is in bad health, it's obvious, we see it. Congress is not going to do anything about it. Not surprising. The cabinet, though, possibly will. And then when you get, because his health is just, and then like if they don't remove him with the 25th Amendment, which I understand means, J.D. Vance is, president, but I get that, like it is like one hot minute, because then you've got the election interference stuff and then how all that falls in line. So, yeah, I think that, let me just say, is he still president? In December of 2025. I'll just do 3 cards. Is he still president in December of 2025? Our country, happier times, happier agreements, and things that have come to light that are being uncovered. So, this isn't a real definitive yes or no. Let me keep going. The Orange Beast going forward. And yeah, if Musk releases the Epstein files, that is going to be what that does to his health. And then, but I don't see that, because because Trump has muddied the waters, saying that file is a hoax. Whatever Musk releases, if he releases something, they're going to say it's a hoax, okay? And then you're going to have like dual things happening, like dual files out there. Like, no, this is the, and it'll be the Trump washed one versus the Musk one. So, yeah, I am just feeling like it's going to be all of the above. That's my answer. That the people wanting him out, the Project 2025 people that are wanting J.D. Vance installed, everybody knows he's in bad health. They are manipulating things to kind of push him along his way. And if he doesn't leave the White House by his own accord, then I think that there will be talks about the 25th Amendment, because his health really is going to get to that point where they just can't prop him up anymore. And Project 2025 people, they're kind of like pushing that. Okay. So that's what I'm getting today. I think it will be his health. However, his health is not being helped by the stress. Okay. And they're piling more stress on him. Okay. So that's what I'm getting today. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out. Subscribe, share, all those wonderful things. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.